Hey folks, Jeff Jackson here, Alfalfa and Forage Specialist with Cropland by Winfield United. We're going to talk a few minutes about reading the stand. And we're going to go to the alfalfa field. Now things are greening up, we're breaking dormancy, but we need to get out there and figure out how healthy these plants really are and how we can manage that stand. So one of the things that we talk about here is reading the stand. We want you to get out. Well, you can't be scouting those fields from the old farm service truck or your pickup, or maybe you're out some of the times today just cruising around, got to go do the drive-by. You can't effectively scout that field from the highway. So you've got to get out in the field, go dig some plants. So what we would love you to do is go dig some plants. You're going to dig those plants and split those crowns. You want to see how healthy that crown is deep down inside. Now, some of these plants are going to have natural crown rot. It's just a natural phenomenon. We get residue build up on top of those, they get a little damage, you start getting a brown streak down the middle. Now that's a pretty common brown, true brown color if it's crown rot. If you split that crown open and you get this off yellow colored, I call it calf crap yellow look, that's generally a winter kill issue. So winter kill can be started with some crown rot, and then you have a weak plant which could turn into a winter kill issue. So first of all, we want to go dig some plants. We want to split that crown apart, and then we've actually have a rating scale. And then if you have one of your fancy dandy Cropland alfalfa scouting rings, on this piece it does have a plant health scale, and we do have some literature and some of our guides online where it talks about how to rate those plants. So they're going to be 0 to 5. 0 will basically be great, no injury whatsoever, and 5 will be dead. So as you look at those pictures, there's going to be numbers in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. As you rate those plants and you come up, let's say you dig 15 plants. You're going to rate each crown 1 through 5, or 0 through 5. You're going to total those up, do the average. If you average 3 or higher, you need to make sure you have a contingency plan for this year. If it's 3 or less, you make a plan for next year's new seeding and go on with life. But anything higher than the 3.5 as an average root rating, you're going to need to replace pretty quickly, or you'll have a very limited yield opportunity the current season of 2020. So again, take your shovel, dig some plants. You cannot evaluate it from the highway. It might look like it's starting to green up, but you'll have some plants that, if you have uneven growth, maybe a plant that's 6 inches tall and one that's just barely breaking dormancy, there's a good chance the one that's behind does have a health issue, so they need to be replaced. So take a look at some of that. The other thing would be is stems per square foot. So let's say you're out there and you take your ring again, which has 3 different scales on it, and over here it says stem density. So we need to measure how many stems per square foot there are, because that's what we harvest. We're not harvesting plants or crowns, we're taking stems. So a general rule is if you are 50 stems or more per square foot, you are maximizing your capture of sunlight and you have a non-yield limiting situation. You get less than 50, and maybe you can argue a little bit. Some of the western environments, you might be down around 40. Your expectations are a little bit different than in the Midwest. So 50 or more, really good. 50 or less has some question, and to what degree do you want to leave it? But that gives you a good idea of what your yield potential should look like for the year. So a couple of those things, again, use your scouting ring, use your shovel, get out of the truck, go walk those fields, because you need a lot of good high quality feed to feed those cows. So Jeff Jackson, just a quick tidbit here on scouting and reading the stand. Thank you and have a good day.